divine truth. وآخر ودعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.
Now we have the creation plan of Allah from a well-known speaker of Opal school, Rufaida Mulla. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created all his creations with a special purpose. Man, who is known as the crown of creations, is also created with a purpose. It would be surprising if such a meaningful being would have been created without purpose. In order to inhabit the eternal paradise, one should be aware of the purpose of his creation. Now may I call upon stage Rufaida Mulla with the creation plan of Allah. Rufaida is a consistent and reserved rank holder of her class. Now please welcome Rufaida Mulla with the
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Kareem. Amma ba'd. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. May peace, mercy and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon all of you. Today the topic of my talk is the creation plan of Allah. A Western philosopher has written that it appears that man is a stranger in this vast universe. It seems that neither man has been made for this world nor this world has been made for man. Both seem mismatched. Man has born with unlimited potential, yet in the present world, his nature, wants to live eternally. But very soon, without his leave, death arrives and puts an end to his life. He harbors an ocean of desires in his heart, but these dreams never realized. In this case, there is no difference between a rich man or a poor man. Why are man and the present world so mismatched? We can find our answer if we understand God's creation plan. The reality is that God, the creator of man, has created him with a plan. To become acquainted with this plan, it is necessary for a man to have a thorough understanding of himself. Just as the workings of the machine can only be understood if we study the drawings of engineer. Beside the mind of engineer, there is no other thing that can clarify that what the machine is meant for. The case of the man is the same. The existence of man is such a unique phenomenon that no other such example can be found throughout the vastness of the cosmos. Man is rightly called the best of all creations, the best and the most meaningful being among all the things created. Such a meaningful being cannot have been created without a purpose. The creator of man has created him according to a special plan. His intention is being that man must spend the period of trial in this present, imperfect, and subsequent to this, according to his deeds, he will earn the right to inhabit the perfect and eternal world, the another name of which is paradise. The creator of this world has created this world as one half of a pair. The present limited world in which we pass our life after birth is the first half, and the next eternal world where we live after death is the other half. The creator of man has created him as an eternal creature and has divided his life into two stages. The pre-death period or the limited period before death, and the post-death period or the eternal period after his death. The pre-death period before his death is meant to be a test for man, while the eternal period after his death is the period of reward or punishment based on his performance in this test of this life. This is the scheme for the existence of this world as devised by its creator. The real aim of creation is to select those who are fit to inhabit the world of paradise. Evil people will not get a chance to inhabit the world of paradise. What is paradise? Paradise is the name of paradise is the name of the ideal world, the desire which is lodged in the hearts of every man and woman. It is paradise where the personality of man shall achieve complete fulfillment in the fullest sense. Man with his entire existence is desirous for the very paradise, and the paradise with his entire existence awaits him. Paradise is that world where the creation such as man attains complete fulfillment, where he thinks the way he wants to think, where he sees what he desires to see, where he touches those things which give him pleasure, where he listens to the sounds which give his ear pleasure, where he has the company of those people who make his life highly meaningful, where he has the winds which are life-giving, the fires, where he eats such a food what he eternally craved for, and where he sips such a drinks that are only of beautiful figments of his imagination today. How do we qualify paradise? In the present world of trial, any man and woman to be eligible for paradise needs to have two qualifications. One, to acknowledge the truth of one God, and the other to lead principled life. Those men and women who pass in this test shall be given a place in paradise, and those who fail to qualify in this test shall spend their life in the eternal deprivation. In the present world, man finds him totally free. However, this freedom does not belong to him as a matter of right, but rather a period of trial, but rather a test paper, what man has to do to acknowledge the truth of one God and to surrender him, not by compulsion, but by his own choice. This surrendering before God is without doubt the greatest sacrifice that any man can make. But to acknowledge the truth of one God means making oneself smaller, not only before God, but to others as well. This is the very virtue which will raise the position of man, and it will take to the very entrance of paradise. It has been generally observed that people who suffer from their life engross themselves in social service, thinking, let no other suffer what I suffer. Social service, although a praiseworthy task, is against the creation plan. Unpleasantness has been put into this world for man to learn a right lesson from it. A true lesson taught by unpleasant experience is that man remembers the eternal life in paradise. Seen in the light of the creation plan, the root of all human problems is that the unenlightened want to make their paradise in this world prior to death, whereas under the natural laws, the situation here on earth makes this impossible. According to the God's creation plan, man has to be content his life in this limited world before death, so that he may be sure that after his death in the eternal life, he has paradise in store for him. His sole aim in the present world should be to make acceptable in the eyes of the God, and he should be sure that he has paradise in store for him. Successful is one who has realized his eternal world in this temporary world, who has discovered his failure in this present world. This is the secret for the eternal success in that next eternal world. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Okay.